Good morning, everybody. Can I quickly start by congratulating the New South Wales Treasurer on behalf of the government for the budget. It's been well received and I'm incredibly proud of what we've managed to do during a very difficult time for New South Wales. Can I also thank the more than 17,000 people who got tested for COVID to 8 p.m. last night, of which I was one and I was negative. But I do also want to again thank our health officials for giving yet another day where we've had zero community transmission. However, we did have 7 cases in hotel quarantine. I also want to stress that Dr. Chant and the health experts will be updating their advice in relation to South Australia, just to say as a precaution that if you don't have to go there in the next few days, delay your travel. The borders are completely open, but if it's not essential travel, think about whether you want to go in the next few days. We're confident. Our health officials have been speaking overnight. We've been also being in close contact with Victoria, as the Victorian, New South Wales and South Australian officials are talking constantly. We are confident that South Australia has it under control, but we're just saying to our community, yes, the borders are completely open, but if you can delay it for a few days, unless you have to go there, please do so. But of course, essential travel is still allowed and the borders are completely open. Can I say that yesterday's budget I hope, gives people of New South Wales heart that even during the most difficult year, during the most difficult times, the government is getting on with the job of building the infrastructure for the future, creating the jobs we need to create, but also providing those essential services for the most vulnerable. And today is a really special day. Yesterday, the Treasurer was able to announce $107 billion for an infrastructure pipeline, up from $97 billion last year. And today, Minister Constance, the Treasurer and myself have the great honour of turning the first sod for the Sydney West Metro, the metro that goes from Parramatta to the Sydney CBD. This is a historic day for New South Wales. I knew when we did this for the North West Rail Line, everybody said it will never happen. When we did it for other projects, they said it'd never get done. I think now we've demonstrated our capacity to get things done, and today is one of those historic days. I don't know anywhere else during COVID, anywhere else on the planet where there's such a huge infrastructure pipeline which has maintained its consistency. It hasn't been interrupted because of the virus, and we'll keep working hard to make sure that happens. So can I also take the opportunity to commend Minister Constance and the Sydney Metro team. They've been able to juggle a number of things at the one time, planning for some metros, building other metros. The Second Harbour Rail crossing for Metro is going unbelievably well. And we're able to demonstrate we're building the network concurrently, and I'm incredibly proud of that, because once COVID is finished, people get back to work. We need those mass transit options. I now ask the Treasurer to speak, and then Minister Constance, and then hopefully not too many questions to me. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Premier. This is a very exciting day. I remember back in 2011 when I was elected to Parliament that we got underway the North West Metro. Well, today it's Metro West. This project will transform Western Sydney. Our $107 billion infrastructure pipeline is the envy of the West. We yesterday announced a $72 billion transport infrastructure program over the next 4 years. To put that in context, that is bigger than the combined infrastructure project of any state, or program of any state. We are building a better New South Wales, and whilst we've gone through this pandemic, there were many discussions in relation to how do we change up or move around our infrastructure program, but we did not. We kept those major projects going because we are not going to have this pandemic control our lives. These projects will transform Sydney, transform our state, hundreds of thousands of jobs off the back of it. Our infrastructure pipeline provides around 150,000 jobs every single year. In yesterday's budget, a job-creating budget, we will create 270,000 jobs. We'll get that unemployment rate down from 7.5% projected at the end of this year down to 5.25% by 2024. That is what we want to do, and that investment yesterday ensures that the state of New South Wales will continue to be the engine room of our country. When New South Wales goes well, our country goes well off the back of it. These projects will boost our economy through this pandemic. They'll create jobs, but most importantly at the end of it, these projects change lives. Metro West will allow people in Western Sydney to get home to their families faster, and that's what this is all about. We don't build these projects for the sake of it. We build them because we know they'll change people's lives and make New South Wales the best place to live, to work, to run a business and raise a family.